Hello there, welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadil Kabir. I'm super happy that you've joined us for political conversation, usual political conversations that I hope will build this country, with Dr. William Ruto as our President, Rigathi Gachagua Deputy President. I'm joined by Herman Manyora, political analyst, commentator. You do a lot of things. University Dawn, they call you. Welcome on set. How are you?
Dr. Love.
Forgot about that one. Let's Talk Love. In case you haven't subscribed to Let's Talk Love, you'll meet Dr. Love there, spreading good news to families out there that they still hope.
Spread the love.
You say there's still hope.
Spread the love. With love, hope is ever present.
Dr. William Ruto has started with love, lifting red alert. Miguna tweeted the government of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua has lifted the red alerts despite Uhuru Kenyatta and his goons illegally imposed against me. Tell me about that. They say Miguna is the guy to make Raila go back to Bondo. Is he coming to take Raila's power?
Miguna ni mboga gani? No, you know me. I just say the truth. You can hate me, you will like me, you will just take me the way I am. Why can't Miguna land and go to Kisumu?
You said ni mboga gani?
Yeah, ni mboga. I had to Kisumu. Let him just go walk in the streets. And then I see how the crowds receive him.
Well, just listen.
He'll get a red carpet.
Some public opinion there, and they're saying they're tired of Raila. It's time for new. And people in Kisumu are saying that after the loss this time round.
That's what I'm saying. You know, the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
Okay.
So why can't Muguna go and take over from Raila? It's very easy.
So for that you say we wait and see what will happen?
We don't wait to see. There's nothing like that. What are you waiting to see?
It'll not happen.
No, it can't happen.
Dr. Barack Muluka said he's glad to see that Raila is back in the opposition now. We saw him in Mathare, went to Jivanji. Is this something that he should be doing now? Some say, look, you failed 5 times. Maybe this, just do it for the people, not for the presidency. Could this be the case for him?
You know, I tell people, if Raila's intention was just to be president, he would have been president long time ago. Or he would have given up and gone home. Raila is the head of a movement that has been in the trenches and out of the trenches with the sole aim of transforming the lives of the people of this country, of changing this country. You can't reduce that to presidency. Even those who have been president, like Ruto now is president, he's president cutters of Raila's efforts.
You don't say.
He's eating off Raila's back.
How so? Yeah. How so? How so?
If the IBC has processed your presidency, that IBC is what it is, cutters of Raila. If you are there because there is space, democratic space to compete, space that allows a chicken seller to become president, that space has been created by Raila. So you can't look at Raila in terms of whether or not he has been president or will be president. That will be missing the point by a huge margin.
Is he going to be the person to take over from Ruto in 2027? I've seen articles of Raila preparing for 2027. Is he going to be the person?
I don't know whether Raila will be willing to run again. I don't know whether it's advisable for him to run again. The general thinking is that he should support Kalonzo for 2027, but politicians are politicians. But the more important thing, who tells you this thing will go to 2027?
Still going back to...
I have said it, and I want to say it until ifikie Ruto. Na ifikie Raila, na ifikie Kalonzo, na ifikie Mudavadi. Whoever, and Sakaja. Here Sakaja wants to be president. Yeah. And Babu Wino. Iwafikie. The idea that you'll be president for 5 years, this is not America. It's going to change. People are going to be going home. You remember I started this last year? Yeah. I'm not saying it now. Yes. Because if I say it now, people say I hate Ruto, which is far from the truth. Why would I hate Ruto? He's a good guy. I've been saying it from last year, remember, that we are entering a phase in our politics where, since we are not completely presidential like America, neither are we parliamentary like the UK. This in-between thing will allow a lot of governments going home midstream.
You've said you don't know whether it's advisable for Raila to run again. Would you advise him to go into 27 2027 and take
You know, that's
over?
a personal choice. Running for president is not a small matter. It's a serious, unknown to many people. It calls for a lot of sacrifice. Soul searching. Americans like tough people. When somebody has been successful in war, Americans always bring them on board to be president. So people approached the late Colin Powell. Colin Powell was chief of staff when America terrorized Saddam and won the Gulf War. He was asked to run for office, and he said no. No, he's a black man. He said no. To go for president, you need some passion.
Okay.
You need to be prepared for it. I've never thought about it. So to ask whether Raila will run or not is quite a difficult. It's a question I can't answer.
How about his role
Raila
now?
is a man who has made so many sacrifices. Maybe he has run out of steam. Maybe he's a human being. He can get annoyed. Because now these people, they don't see Siwakai.
We've had
it's possible.
We've had this conversation a lot, and even before we started, we were speaking about why he didn't make it to the presidency. You called it something a Raila problem. Does this mean if he tries again, the odds are not good for him?
No, it doesn't work like that. And there are many examples. Or people have tried and given up. Or people have tried and finally got. The guy in Zambia, Kenyans sometimes, we are so narrow here. The guy in Zambia here, he was doing it on his 5th time. Okay. The current president. 5 times. The best example in the world is of one of not one, I think the most celebrated American president, Abraham Lincoln. He tried even small things like being MP and he lost. He tried even small things. But finally he became president. So you cannot write off somebody merely on the basis of him having tried and failed. Kibaki tried, failed. On the 3rd attempt, he became president. So I wouldn't write anybody off on the basis of age, or on the basis of mere fact that he has tried and failed. Yeah.
How easy is it for him now to oppose Ruto's government? Remember with Uhuru, he was his brother, the handshake duo. And now he comes out and says...
What I know.
Remember, he's spoken about Ruto saying they have inherited a bad economy and they're traveling with 200 million. Go ahead, talk to me about him now opposing Ruto.
If Ruto is going to have opposition, it will come from himself. His style of leadership will attract opposition.
How so?
Like the things they are now beginning to do, they can bring opposition, invite opposition. You can make people angry. I've done a little reading in this world, history, politics. I know it's very easy to annoy people. And when people are annoyed, there's no limit to what they can do. When they're annoyed, don't annoy people.
Okay.
And you annoy people by very small things. People can be very hungry without getting annoyed. But you do certain things, kama hii ya kuachilia watu hii. Those are things that irritate people. And they get a point and they are so annoyed, they can take law into their own hands. Because as you are doing that, their children are rotting in jail. And you are releasing thieves, for example. The people they consider thieves. I'm not saying they are thieves.
Those cases of Waititu, Waluke,
all this kind.
is this what you're talking about?
Very annoyed. I'm telling you, do not underestimate the anger these things generate. And those are the kind of things. But for Raila, in terms of opposing Ruto, Raila is a man who knows how to fish things, get things that can... Really, when you are doing wrong things, Eurobond, what Raila can get information and...
that's how he got the thing about fertilizer.
He can do that if he wants to help society, not necessarily to annoy Ruto, not or to oppose Ruto, but to make sure that Ruto is not doing the right things. Raila has a courage not many people have to speak out against evil. He can do that. He can continue to do that. But what I thought you were asking is whether Raila can portend danger to Ruto.
Yes, we're going there.
Plenty of it. Plenty of it.
How?
Plenty of it.
How so? Because we've seen the Raila in Kibaki's government. We've seen the Raila in Uhuru's government.
A lot of trouble. If I was Ruto, I'll be very careful with Raila.
Aren't you overestimating?
Extremely careful.
Aren't you overestimating? Because we've seen Raila in different
I'm doing a documentary on Raila very soon.
Yeah.
And I'll bring out that bit. Raila is a very good man when you put him in a boardroom with a suit. You can floor him very easily. You can manage him. But when Raila goes to the streets, you can't manage him.
Yeah.
Raila the revolutionary, who thinks 24/7 on his feet. he can cause a lot of trouble to you. A lot of trouble.
Will it get to a point where Ruto calls him, talks to,
you know,
they do the handshake with
if I was Ruto, what I would do is very simple. If I were Ruto, I'll find a way of talking to Raila. And Raila, sometimes even he makes people annoyed. He's very weak. So weak, he annoys people. Look at that. You know how many people Raila lost with the handshake? I would pass, people associate me with Raila. They think I'm a Raila man. I went home after the handshake. The border boys almost beat me. Because they associated me with Raila. People were so annoyed with the handshake that if they had the power, they could have eaten Raila. And I'm sure Raila can do the same thing again. So if I was Ruto, I would not even this chest thumping. I know Raila is weak when it comes to boardroom, to managing him. I'll just call him and tell him, come here. Now that I'm a good boy with the Americans and the British, I tell them, ask me, get me a small, nice job with UN, a powerful UN job. Then you negotiate, give Raila an end. But if you leave Raila in the streets, Kibira here, Ruto can go home in a year's time.
You've said Ruto is chest thumping, according to you. Is that what you're saying? Because right now you're saying Ruto, who's working, dealing with foreign affairs, coming to Kenya, is dealing with drought. Chest thumping in what terms?
Utadu. There's a lot of utadu going on in this country. You can see it. This is our country, and Ruto is our president. We must respect him. Utadu. But there's a lot of impunity already everywhere in the air. And he himself, he has said he doesn't want handshake. He has said he doesn't want to work to put opposition in the government. He has said it. So am I the one manufacturing it? He has said it. And a lot of other things put together. And what he says even now, long after you are president, you are still talking of, well, same work on a deep state.
Oh, yeah.
That arrogance in politics never works. It has never worked for anybody. And it will not work for Ruto. Let me tell you this. I have said before, you may not have control in what happens in the country in terms of cost of living, in terms of the suffering of people. Because the crude oil prices were going down. I understand the people, those guys who produce oil and sell, they are reducing production to maintain the prices where they are and even take higher. The leading shipping lines in the world have multiplied their rates by 3 times in the last 1 year or less. The Ukraine war, we don't know how far it can go. It can be worse. It can be worse.
Yeah.
America can intervene directly. NATO can intervene. And therefore, the price of unga can go to 500. So with all these flashpoints, with all these possibilities, you have to navigate your politics very carefully. Avoid impunity. Avoid rubbing people salt into the wound. Why would Ruto continue talking about an election that he has already won? Contemptuously about his competitors. You don't go there, because you can find yourself in a country where mafuta is 400 shillings and the unga is 500. And you are talking about, you are playing your politics badly. Raila would not even need to do a lot to make you go home. Because let me finish.
Yeah.
Because I'm a good man. I was born naturally good. People have taken advantage of my goodness. That's why I'm what I am. I would like to invite those in power to know that in the 21st century in Kenya today, less than 50,000 people assemble in Nairobi can send our president home. 50,000 only. Yeah. And getting 200,000 people into the streets of Nairobi is not an issue. It's not an issue. And yet 50,000 will send you home. This is a new Kenya. People are young and they are bold. Some of them don't even care. They have been out of university 10 years and they don't have a job. So if you throw a tear gas, they don't even know what you are doing. They will march and you will not kill them. And you leave State House and you go home. And you will not be the first one. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm the president, I will navigate politics very carefully. I will call my lieutenants, watu mudomo kutupa maneno. Please, we have won the election. We have only one responsibility: to serve Kenyans, to improve the lives of Kenyans, to reduce the cost of living. We don't have time for Raila kumtupia maneno or Azimio. If I hear you whispering a word about Azimio or Raila or Kalonzo, In my government, if you are a minister, I sack you the following day. Let's concentrate on what's at hand. Na wewe mwenyewe uchunge mdomo yako. That's part of navigating the politics. Other things like incorporating other people into government will follow slowly. And then finally everybody sees you as a serious president out to unite the country and to try to solve the problems of the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know why they say you have a dangerous mind.
Yeah. My mind is dangerous, I know.
Till we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.